The bullet ripped through my chest like a freight train derailing in slow motion. And all I could think was how my own blood tasted like copper pennies from the gumball machine Dad used to fix in the garage. My brother's face, Ethan's face, hovered over me in the Iraqi dust. His eyes cold as the Potomac in January, whispering, "You always were the weak link, Eden. Time to cut you loose." But death wasn't the end. It was the goddamn reset button. And as my vision tunneled to black, I swear I heard the ghosts of every betrayed soul in Arlington laughing, because I woke up gasping in my bunk on the USS Eisenhower, 3 months before that traitorous prick sold me out for a star on his shoulder. I bolted upright, sheets tangled around my legs like restraints in a psych ward, heart hammering against ribs that shouldn't be whole. The fluorescent hum of the overhead light buzzed like angry hornets, and the salt-stink air of the carrier's belly hit me full force. Norfolk, Virginia, home port, July 15th, 2022. My last memory before the loop had been December. The ambush in Anbar province that ended with me bleeding out in Ethan's arms, or what passed for them. Fratricide. The report called it accidental. Bullshit. He'd rigged the intel, fed the insurgents my patrol route, all to bury the dirt he'd planted on me years ago. That secret? The one that could have ended his career before it peaked? Yeah. He pinned it on me to climb the ladder. I stumbled to the tiny mirror bolted above my locker, staring at the face that hadn't aged a day past 28. Eden Scott, Lieutenant Commander. Eyes hollow from too many night ops and not enough sleep. But now, those eyes burned with the kind of fire you see in wildfire documentaries. The ones where the flames eat everything in their path. I was back.
重生.
As some half-remembered philosophy class called it, reborn. And this time, I wasn't playing the loyal little brother. Ethan thought he'd erased me. I'd carve my name into his legacy with a dull knife. First things first, verify the timeline. I grabbed my phone, same cracked screen from dropping it during that poker game in Bahrain, and scrolled through emails. There it was, the brass's directive for the joint op in the Gulf. The one Ethan twisted into my coffin nail. He was already angling for promotion, schmoozing admirals at the O Club, whispering about my instability from that psych eval he'd faked. The secret he buried? Back in Annapolis. During our plebe year, I'd covered for him after he botched a sim and nearly killed a squad in training. Worse, he was skimming funds from the midshipman's slush, pocketing cash meant for gear. I took the heat, got the black mark that stalled my fast track. Loyalty. I called it.
Stupidity.
Hindsight screamed. I needed allies, but trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. Not yet. I hit the deck for PT, pounding the treadmill until my lungs screamed, mapping out the board in my head. Ethan, the golden boy. Colonel Ethan Scott. All ivy charm and southern drawl masking the viper. Our folks. Dead 5 years from a car wreck he blamed on me for distracting Dad with a phone call. Would have wept if they knew. But they didn't.
And neither did the Navy.
Until now. By Chow. I decided. Infiltrate his circle. Flip the script. I cornered my XO. LT. Ramirez. In the wardroom. Casual as a beer summit. Sir. You hear about Colonel Scott's pitch for the Gulf Fleet? Sounds solid. But I got reservations. Ramirez, a grizzled vet from the Nam era's tail end, arched a brow over his coffee. Spill it, Scott. You two go way back, brothers in arms. Literal. I leaned in, voice low. That's the problem. He's got blind spots. Big ones. Remember that audit last year? Funds missing from the sim budget. His eyes narrowed. Seed planted. That night, in the dim glow of my rack, I sketched it out on a napkin. Step 1. Unearth the old Annapolis logs. Step 2. Bait Ethan into overreaching. Step 3. Make him watch his empire crumble. Brick by traitorous brick. Sleep came fitful, haunted by the echo of that gunshot. But when dawn broke over the Atlantic, I felt alive. Truly alive. For the first time since West Point rejected me and the Academy took me in as second choice. Weeks blurred into a grind of drills and dead drops. I hacked the personnel database, nothing fancy. Just a forgotten backdoor from my crypto days, and pulled the files. There it was, Ethan's eval, glowing like a halo, with my name in the footnotes as witness to minor infractions. Minor. The son of a bitch had laundered $5,000 through fake vendors, and I'd vouched for him to the honor board. Family, he'd said, clapping my shoulder. We protect our own. Yeah.
Right.
Protect until you're in the way. I started small. Anonymous tips to the IG hotline. Irregularities in Colonel Scott's command chain. Gulf prep. No names. Just enough smoke to make him cough. By August, he was in my face at the officers' club in Bahrain. Port call sweet with cheap scotch and tension. Eden. Little bro. You look like hell. Gulf got you spooked. His smile was all teeth, like a shark spotting chum. I matched it. Clinking glasses.
Nah.
Just thinking about legacy.
Ethan.
Dad always said blood's thicker than water. Or oil. He laughed, but his eyes flicked, wary.
Good. The oploomed.
Rehearsals ramping up. I volunteered for the riskiest sims, proving my mettle, whispering doubts to Ramirez about Ethan's tactics. He's cutting corners on recon.
Sir.
Intel feels.
Cooked.
Ramirez grunted, but I saw the gears turn. Meanwhile, Ethan doubled down, pulling strings to sideload me onto his detail. Keep you close, Eddie, he said over encrypted line. Can't have my favorite liability wandering off. I played along, the dutiful pup, while inside, rage simmered like napalm. September hit, and the first crack showed. An audit pinged his unit, funds discrepancy, traced to a vendor that didn't exist. He called me frantic at 0200, voice whiskey slurred. Eden, you gotta back me on this. Tell M it was for morale gear. Post-drill. I feigned sleep fog. Sure.
Ethan.
Like old times. But the next day, I fed Ramirez the vendor's shell corp details. Coincidence? I asked innocently. His nod was grim. Keep digging. Scott. By October, the Gulf was a powder keg. Houthi drones buzzing like mosquitoes on steroids. Ethan pushed for aggressive patrols. My team on point. I saw the ambush blueprint unfolding, same as before. His enhanced intel from a source that smelled like double-agent bullshit. This time, I rerouted us, citing anomalies in the feed. He raged in the briefing tent, face purple under the lantern light. You're undermining me, Eden. This is insubordination. The room went silent, brass watching. I stood tall, voice steady. Just saving lives.
Colonel.
Sir. That night, alone in the sand-swept hooch, I confronted the mirror again. Was this revenge? Or just survival? The betrayal cut deeper than the bullet ever did, Ethan. My blood. Who'd traded me for a medal. But the secret festered. Not just the theft.
But the wreck.
He'd been driving drunk that night. Swerved to miss a deer he claimed I distracted him about. Autopsy said otherwise, BAC twice the limit. He'd buried it. Leaned on connections. Let me carry the guilt. Your call killed them, he'd hissed at the funeral. Now, I'd exhume it all. November brought the storm. A tip from an old Annapolis buddy, now Jag, landed on my desk. Ethan's source was dirty. Feeding him to the insurgents for kickbacks. I packaged it neat. Anonymous drop to the general's aide. Treason adjacent, the note read. Ethan's star dimmed. He got yanked from command. Sidelined to desk duty in D.C. He cornered me in the tarmac haze. Grabbing my collar. You did this. You fucking snake. I wrenched free. Close enough to smell his fierce sweat. Family protects its own.
Right?
Or, did you forget?
He swung.
I ducked. Countering with a knee to the gut clean. No witnesses. As he wheezed, I leaned in. Onbar's coming.
Ethan.
But this time, you're the one who bleeds. He spat blood-flecked sand. Eyes wild. You'll regret this. Little brother. I made you.
No.
I'd unmake him. The op launched December 1st. My team tight. Intel pure. We neutralized the cell without a shot fired my way. Brass noticed. Whispers of commendations rippled through the ranks. Ethan. Stateside. Stewed, his career a house of cards teetering. I flew back on the C-130. The hum of props lulling me into uneasy dreams of graves and gold stars. Christmas Eve. Norfolk glowed with tacky lights and forced cheer. I met him at Mom's old house, sold but haunting in memory, neutral ground for our reconciliation. He poured bourbon, hands shaking. Truce. Eden, whatever you think I did. I cut him off, sliding the dossier across the table. Autopsy report, bank trails, comms logs with the source. His face drained to ash. Where? Doesn't matter. What matters is the general's briefing tomorrow. Your resignation. Or this hits every inbox from here to the hill. He lunged, bottles shattering on the hearth. We grappled like boys in the backyard. But I was forged in fire now, stronger, meaner. I pinned him, knee on his throat. For Dad. For Mom. For me.
His wheeze was a plea. Please.
Blood. I eased off, leaving him curled like a question mark. Mercy or bait? January 2023. The inquiry hit like a monsoon. Ethan confessed. Partial. Painting himself as pressured. The theft. The wreck cover-up. The rigged intel. But the source? He pinned that on a ghost. Dodging treason. Jag bought it. Barely. Slap on the wrist. Demotion to major. Early retirement. He called from his lawyer's office. Voice broken glass. You win, Eden. Happy now. I hung up without a word.
When?
It tasted like bile. But revenge is a hungry beast. I pushed harder, volunteering for Black Ops, earning stripes the hard way. By summer, whispers of my name in promotion boards. Ethan faded to Florida golf courses, a ghost in polo shirts. I visited once, unannounced, his new wife eyeing me like a bomb.
He talks about you, she said.
Regrets. I laughed. Tell him regrets are for the living. Fall brought the gala, Naval Academy Centennial, Annapolis aglow with brass and nostalgia. I walked in solo. Dress blues starched sharp. Ethan was there, bloated in civvies, nursing a scotch at the bar. Our eyes met across the room, his widened, then narrowed to slits. Lieutenant Commander, he sneered, clinking my glass. Still chasing shadows? The general took the podium then, voice booming like thunder over the Severn. Tonight, we honor those who embody the Scott legacy, brothers in service, pillars of valor. Heads turned our way. Ethan's smirk bloomed. Premature. Then, Eden Scott stepped forward. The room hushed. I mounted the stage, heart steady as a sextant. Rear Admiral Scott, the general intoned, pinning the stars with a grip like destiny. Gasps rippled. Eden Scott, the underdog, the fixer? Applause thundered. But I heard only Ethan's glass shatter on the marble floor. He stood frozen, face a mask of ruin, as flashes popped and hands pumped mine. Brother thought I was done. Until that moment, in front of God, country, and every ghost we'd buried. But as the crowd surged, a aide slipped me an envelope, sealed,
Urgent.
Inside a photo, grainy but damning. Ethan, not retired, deep in bed with the same source. Post-confession. The twist? He'd flipped again, selling Navy secrets for a cushy exile. My hand trembled. The beast wasn't sated. It was just waking up. The envelope burned in my pocket like contraband at a border crossing, but I played it cool through the handshakes and backslaps. The kind of schmoozing that greases the wheels in DC's underbelly. Rear Admiral Eden Scott, hell. It rolled off the tongue like a promotion I'd earned in blood, not just ink. The general clapped my shoulder, his breath minty with after-dinner mints. Your brother's got that look, Scott. Like he swallowed a lemon whole. I forced a chuckle, eyes flicking to Ethan, who lurked at the bar's edge, nursing shards of dignity in a fresh glass. Family reunions are always a trip, sir. By midnight, the ballroom emptied to cigar haze and cab fares, leaving me and the ghosts. I cornered him in the coat room, the air thick with wool and regret. Cozy setup you've got, Ethan. Florida sun, new bride, and a side hustle and treason. His eyes darted, guilty as a cat in a canary shop. You don't know shit, Eden. That photo's fake. Doctored. I held it up, the timestamp glaring like a neon accusation. February. Post-inquiry. Him shaking hands with the source in a Miami dive. Explain it.
Then.
Or I marched this straight to Langley. He deflated, shoulders slumping like a punctured blimp. It was insurance. Leverage. He was gonna roll on me harder, full treason rap. I met him once. Cut a deal to bury it mutual. Lies. Layered thick as southern humidity. But I let it hang. Bait on the hook. Walk away clean.
Ethan.
One call from me. And you're radioactive. He nodded. Fervent. But as he brushed past, his whisper slithered. You think you're clean, little brother? That psych eval I buried? It wasn't fake. You cracked an OnBar, PTSD blackouts. I covered for you. The words landed like a gut punch, dredging up flashes. The real ambush. Not his rigged one, but the first tour, Fallujah 19, where I froze. Let a kid take the hit. Buried it deep. But Ethan? He'd weaponized it, twisted my silence into his shield. I tailed him to his rental Beamer, watching taillights fade into the Chesapeake night.
Sleep?
Not tonight. Dawn found me in my Quantico quarters, pounding black coffee and pulling strings, old crypto contacts. Now NSA whispers. The photo wasn't fake. Forensics confirmed it via a quick favor from a lab tech in Baltimore. Ethan's insurance was a ledger, payments wired to offshore shells. Navy drone specs in exchange for silence. The source? A ghost named Kareem Al-Mansour, ex-ISIS fixer turned freelance rat. Ethan hadn't just survived the inquiry, he'd thrived, selling scraps to keep his neck off the block. My promotion? It blinded him to the noose tightening. I needed proof ironclad, the kind that sticks in courts-martial. Enter Sarah Klein, Captain Now. My Annapolis flame rekindled over late-night strategy sessions. Sharp as a K-bar, with eyes like Chesapeake steel. Eden. This is dynamite, she said over secure line from her post in Pearl. But risky. If he's still active. I cut in. Voice gravel.
He is.
And I'm ending it. We plotted. Her accessing his comms via mutual contacts. Me baiting the trap stateside. February thawed the Potomac's ice. But not my veins. I invited him to D.C., family dinner. I texted, neutral as apple pie. He showed at the old Ebbet. Tie loose. Eyes hunted. Over oysters and lies. I probed. Heard you're consulting private sector? His fork paused. Yeah. Low-key. Keeps the lights on. I slid the photo under the linen. Low-key like this? He paled, then rallied with a sneer. Jealous. Admiral? My freedom for your chains. Freedom. The word twisted like a knife. Ours was the chain blood-bound, rusted with betrayal. That night, Sarah's ping hit. Intercepts. Ethan emailing Kareem. Haggling over final deliverables, schematics for the new Virginia-class sub. Treason.
Pure.
I forwarded to Jag anonymously, but added a twist, my name on the CC, as whistleblower. No hiding now. Ethan's phone blew up at 0300. I heard it vibrate through the wall of my Georgetown crash pad. I'd bumped into him. Suggested the hotel. His scream echoed. You bastard. Morning brought the feds. Black SUVs screeching to the curb as I sipped coffee across the street. Anonymous in civvies. They cuffed him in the lobby, bathrobe flapping like surrender. His eyes met mine through the glass. Pure venom. This isn't over.
Eden.
But it was. Or so I thought. The inquiry dragged into spring. A circus of depositions and denials. Ethan lawyered up, big firm. Ex-justice hacks, spinning it as entrapment by familial grudge. The press sniffed blood. Admiral versus Colonel. Scott family feud rocks Navy. Pundits on Fox and CNN dissected us like Thanksgiving turkey. Me the hero. Him the heel. Mom's old church ladies called. Weeping. Pray for your brother.
Eden.
Pray? I'd buried that impulse with our parents. Sarah stood by me through the hearings, her hand steady under the table. You're doing right, she'd murmur, but doubt nod. Was this justice? Or just vengeance dressed in stars? Ethan's testimony gutted me. Eden's unstable, always has been. That promotion? Bought with my silence on his breakdowns.
Lies.
But they stuck. Whispers in the halls. My command reviewed me. Psych eval looming like a guillotine. Then the twist uncoiled. Kareem wasn't a ghost. captured in a drone strike. My op. Ironically, his hard drive spilled everything. Not just Ethan's deals, but mine. The secret I'd buried deeper than his. Fallujah.
Ide autoriteit gesoef en teratun batterboarding lite.
Off books that cross lines. A detainee died, hushed up as natural causes. Ethan knew he'd used it as leverage for years. We're both dirty. Bro, his confession read, leaked to the press. But I protected you. The room spun in that fluorescent jag chamber. General's face thunderous. Admiral Scott. Explain. I couldn't. Not fully. The decisions, the controversial ones, flooded back, rerouting patrols that left villages exposed, tips that burned assets prematurely. All to gut Ethan. Gray area? This was abyss black. Sarah pulled strings. Her testimony a lifeline. Eden's actions saved lives. Hundreds. But the board deliberated days. The Navy teetering on scandal. Ethan. In holding. Send a note. Join me in the fall. Or take us both down. Temptation whispered. Let it all burn. Us with it. May bloomed bloody with verdicts. Ethan, life. Leavenworth.
Me?
Reprimand. But stars intact, conditional. Under watch. Sarah proposed over crab cakes at the waterfront. Ring glinting like a promise. Build something clean. Eden. I nodded. But the envelope's shadow lingered. One more play. Summer solstice. I visited him, steel door clanging shut behind. He looked smaller. Orange jumpsuit swallowing him. Come to gloat.
He said.
Voice even.
No.
To end it. I slid a thumb drive. Kareem's full files. Including Ethan's ace, the Fallujah log. Signed by me. Burn it. Or I walk with ghosts. His laugh was hollow. Why? Blood's thicker. Even poisoned. He smashed it under his heel. Eyes wet.
Go.
Admiral. I walked out into blinding sun. Free but fractured. Rear Admiral Scott, title heavy as anchors. But for the first time, the weight felt like wings. Freedom tasted like stale Chow Hall coffee. The kind you choke down at 0500 briefings when the world's still velvet dark. Rear Admiral Eden Scott, 2 stars now. But they chafed like ill-fitted whites after a sweat-soaked evolution. Sarah's ring weighed my left hand, a talisman against the itch. But Leavenworth's bars haunted my sleep. Ethan's wheeze echoing like a bad comms loop. Build something clean, she'd said. Easier preached than practiced when your blueprints sketched in red ink. Quantico summers are a beast, humid as a swamp rat's armpit. Drills pounding cadence into your bones. I threw myself into command, the Marine base my new fiefdom, joint ops training, spec ops pipelines, the grind that forges or breaks. My team sensed the edge. Ramirez, now my chief of staff, pulled me aside after a particularly brutal live fire. Sir, you're writing M like they stole your dog tags. Ease up. I clapped his shoulder, forcing Navy nonchalance. Just keeping us sharp.
Chief.
Houthis don't take coffee breaks. But sharpness cut both ways. The reprimand lingered. A scarlet letter in my fitness reports. Lapses in judgment familial conflicts. Brass watched like hawks at a mouse convention. Second-guessing every call. When I greenlit a drone sim that clipped a mock civvy, collateral in pixels, they hauled me to the Hill for oversight hearings. Senators. Those silver-haired vultures. Pecked. Admiral Scott. How do we trust a man who buried bodies for kin?
Bodies.
Plural. Felugus ghost risen. Courtesy of Ethan's parting gift to the press. I stonewalled. Sarah prepping my soundbites. Every decision weighed lives against threats. Senator. Regrets a luxury. Results aren't. It played okay. Cable news spun me as the redeemed rogue, but the doubt festered. Nights. I'd pace the Colonial in Alexandria we'd bought. Sarah asleep upstairs. Replaying the what-ifs. What if I'd let Ethan rot without the drive? What if the wreck was my fault? That call pulling Dad's eyes? Guilt's a sneaky bastard. Slithering in when vengeance ebbs. Enter the new wrinkle, a ghost from the past. Not Ethan's, but mine. LT. JG Marcus Hale, plebe year bunkmate. The kid I'd saved from hazing gone wrong. Now a hotshot intel officer. Assigned to my detail. He cornered me in the O Club, foam-flecked pint in hand. Sir. Off record. That Fallujah file? I was the log keeper. Saw it all. My gut iced. And he leaned in, breath fiery. Ethan didn't leak it first. I did. Anonymously. Thought it'd balance the scales, your cover for his theft. Balance. The word mocked me. Hale's eyes pleaded, use me. Redeem it. Redeem. The beast stirred anew. Ethan's trial had unearthed more rot. Not just his, but the system's. Skimming wasn't isolated. Brass up the chain turned blind eyes for kickbacks. Promotions greased with ghost vendors. Hale's confession cracked it open a network. Tendrils in procurement. Ops funding. My controversial call?
Dive in.
Expose it. Risk my stars or walk clean. Let Sarah's dream stand. I chose the dive. Hale and I built the net. Audits masked as routine. Whispers to IG plants. Sarah running interference with JAG pals. By August, we had names, 3-star admirals, contractor fat cats. The op, codenamed Anchor Chain. Ironic as hell. We fed leaks to the Post. Anonymous. Baiting the rats to scurry. One bit hard. Vice Admiral Harlan Crow. Ethan's old mentor. The man who'd signed off on my psych berry. Crow summoned me to the Pentagon. That 5-sided puzzle box of secrets. His office reeking of power and pipe tobacco. Scott. Rumors of mutiny in your ranks. Care to clarify. His smile was a scalpel. I met it head-on. Just housekeeping?
Sir.
Loose threads from family business. He chuckled.
Low.
Family. Your brother's rotting because of yours. Don't make it a dynasty. Threat veiled as advice. I left with his calendar hacked. Hale's work, dates circled for consults with shells. September's equinox brought the storm. A whistleblower drop, ours. Hit the wires, billion siphoned. Subs delayed. Lives risked for yachts in the Virgin Islands. Congress roared. Hearings like gladiator pits. Crow stonewalled. But I testified. Voice steady. Sir. The chain of command protects us all, until it chokes. Flashes popped. Headlines screamed, Admiral Scott strikes back. Ethan. From his cell. Sent a smuggled note. Proud? Or just finishing what I started? Proud? The word soured. Sarah confronted me post-hearing. Eyes storm gray. This isn't clean.
Eden.
It's war. She was right. My decision's gray darker. Authorizing Hale's black bag on Crow's safe. Borderline illegal. But the haul? Gold ledgers. Emails. A smoking gun video of Crow pocketing a briefcase in a Langley lot. We leaked it selective. To allies on the committee. Crow resigned for health, but cuffs waited in Bethesda. October chilled the air. Leaves crunching underboots on Quantico trails. My command hummed, recruits saluting sharper. But the beast gnawed. Hale's eyes hollowed. Paranoia creeping. They're watching,
Sir.
Crow's cronies. Paranoia or truth. A tail on my commute, subtle. A blue sedan, too consistent. Sarah urged caution. Pull back. We have enough. But enough wasn't absolution. The high-stakes play dropped November 1st, a gala at the Capitol. Black-tie treason tour. Crow's farewell. Ironic toast to integrity. I crashed it. Sarah on my arm. Diamonds winking like warnings. He cornered us by the punch bowl. Breath Scotch sour. You think you're David.
Scott.
Goliath's got friends. His hand clamped my elbow.
Visitat.
Walk away. Or your wife's next posting is Antarctica. The threat landed nuclear. Sarah stiffened, but I twisted free. Voice ice. Goliath fell once. History rhymes. Security hovered. We slipped out to the terrace. Potomac glittering below like spilled mercury. Hale texted, got him. Flight logs, Crow to Miami. Meeting the network head. The head, a senator. No less, Armstrong. Defense hawk with a poker face. We moved fast. Hale and attack team. Off-books raid on the drop site. A yacht club slip in the Keys. Controversial? Hell yes, jurisdiction fuzzy. Risks stratospheric. But the bust? Senator in cuffs. Duffel of docs spilling like confetti. Front page apocalypse. Navy corruption ring busted. Scott leads charge. Fallout hit like a broadside. Medals for me. Hale promoted. Sarah beaming at the ceremony. But Crow? He didn't fade. November 15th. A package arrived, no return. Just my name in block letters. Inside, a flash drive. Labeled your turn. Footage me. Fallujah. The interrogation. Grainy, but damning my voice. Make him talk. Then, the twist within. Crow's narration overlay. Deepfake smooth. Admiral Scott authorized torture. Cover it up. Or this goes viral. The beast roared. My clean build?
Crumbling.
Sarah saw the drive. Face ashen. Destroy it.
Eden. Now.
But destruction's temporary. Truth's a virus. I called Hale. We end this. Tonight. Midnight raids aren't for the faint-hearted. Not when the target's a vice admiral with Pentagon pull and a grudge wider than the Atlantic. Hale and I rolled out in unmarked Tahoes. The kind with reinforced bumpers and ghosts in the glove box. Extra mags. Encrypted burners. Quantico to Bethesda. 40 minutes of silence broken only by the slap of wipers on a drizzle that slicked the roads like lies. Sir, this crosses lines, Hale muttered. Knuckles white on the wheel. Crows wired in deep, FBI, maybe CIA. I stared at the dash clock, ticking like a bomb. Lines are for maps. Lieutenant. Weary draw M. His McMansion loomed in Chevy Chase. Colonial facade hiding the rot. Manicured lawn. Security cams blinking red like accusatory eyes. We cut the feed, Hale's jammer. Jury-rigged from drone parts, slipping the fence like shadows at a funeral. Back door, picked in under 30. The lock yielding with a click that echoed my pulse. Inside. The air hung heavy with leather and regret. Family photos on the mantel mocking us. Crow with grandkids. Stars pinned proud. Upstairs. His study. Oak desk. Walls lined with commendations, yellowing like old teeth. Hale swept for bugs, clean, while I jacked his PC, siphoning files to a thumb drive. The deepfake source? There. In a folder labeled Leverage. Raw footage. My face unaltered. But the audio? Spliced with AI precision. My orders twisted to war crimes. You'll break before I do. Scott, Crow's note read, pinned to the desktop. Arrogant prick. Footsteps creaked the stairs, heavy, deliberate. Hale froze. I palmed my sidearm. The Beretta's weight a cold comfort. Crow filled the doorway. Roe belted loose. .45 in hand like an extension of his ego. Knew you'd come.
Boy.
Blood calls to blood. His smile was a rictus, eyes gleaming with the madness of cornered brass. Hale raised hands slow. I didn't. Drop it, Admiral. Game's up. He laughed. Bark dry. Up. This is checkmate. That drive? Backed to the cloud. Timed release if I flatline. Your career. Your marriage, poof. Sarah's face flashed, her trust fraying. The controversial call loomed. Shoot, end it messy, or talk. Risk the bluff. I chose talk. Voice level. You built the ring. Crow. Ethan was small fry. Why drag me? His aim wavered. Just a hair. Because you're the mirror. Scott. Idealist turned inquisitor. Fallujah? I greenlit it. Off books. Deniable. You executed. We're the same.
Same.
The word poisoned. Hale edged left. Distraction play. Crow swung, too slow. I lunged, tackling him to the Persian rug, gun skittering. We grappled, fists and fury, his bulk against my wire-taut frame. You think Ethan was the snake, he wheezed, me driving my ribs. I recruited him. Your family? My ladder. The revelation hit harder than his elbow. Ethan's theft? Crow's tutelage. Grooming from Annapolis. The rec cover? Crow's fixer. DC. Strings pulled. Blood wasn't just thick, it was tainted upstream. Hale zip-tied him mid-rant. But Crow spat. Release hits in 10. Run. Bluff or bomb. We hauled ass. Drive in pocket. Sirens wailing distant as we peeled out. Dawn broke bloody over the beltway. Feds swarming crows as we dumped the Tahoe in a mall lot. Burner ghosts. Hale split to a safe house. I hit Sarah's office. The drive clutched like a grenade.
Eden.
What the hell? Her hug was fierce. Then recoiled at the footage. Destroy it. All of it. But the timer? Real. Cloud ping confirmed. 30 minutes to viral Armageddon. We scrambled. Sarah's jag net. Deleting mirrors. DDoS on the host. Sweat slick. Keyboards clacking. The clock bled seconds. Got it, she gasped. Firewall sealing the leak. Crow, in custody by noon. Singing like a canary on decoff, full confession. Ring dismantled. Headlines crowed. Corruption kingpin falls. Scott saves Navy honor. Saved? The word rang hollow. December frosted the windows. Holidays looming like obligatory leave. Ethan's appeal hearing, pro bono from a Crow crony, threatened retrial. Painting him as pawn. I testified remote. Voice steady. He chose the path. Your honor. We all do.
Denied.
Life stuck. But Mercy's echo, I smuggled him books, Sun Tzu. Dad's old favorites. Read between the lines, the note said. No reply. Sarah and I honeymooned late, Bermuda. White sands mocking my grit. Clean start, she asked. Toes in surf. I nodded. But the beast slumbered. Not slain. January 2024. Promotion whispers. Full Admiral? Brass dangled it. Redemption arc scripted. But Hale vanished, poof. Mid-briefing. His locker, note. They got me.
Sir.
Crow's ghosts. Finish it. Panic clawed. Hale's trail led to a dive in Georgetown, ex-CIA black site. Whispers said. I went solo. Sarah protesting. Call it in. Controversial again, rogue op. Admiral gone cowboy. The door creaked open to damp concrete. Echoes of drips like Morse regret.
Hale.
Bound to a chair. Face a roadmap of bruises.
Sir.
Trap. Lights snapped, floods blinding. Figures emerged. Suits. Not uniforms, private contractors. Crow's off-books muscle. The lead. A slab named Vance. Grinned wolfish. Admiral. Walked right in. They'd played Hale. Faked the snatch to lure me. Guns up, mine drawn too late. For Crow, Vance growled. Loose ends. The controversial decision crystallized. Fight. Die messy. Or bargain. Offer the drive's copy. Buy time. Wait, I barked. The files, everything. Trade for him. Vance paused. Greedy. Show. I tossed the burner. Dummy. Booby trapped with a tracker. They clustered. Hale's eyes met mine nod. I whistled sharp. Outside. Sarah's TAC team breached. Her call. Backup I'd forgotten to cancel. Chaos. Flashes. Shouts. Bodies dropping. Vance lunged. I fired center mass. Recoil shuddering like judgment. Clean kill? Jury out.
Hale ferit.
Coughing thanks. Oh, you. Sir. Sarah stormed in. Fury and relief. Never again.
Eden.
Team. Or nothing. The beast? Leashed.
For now.
Spring greened the Potomac. Trials wrapping. Crow's empire crumbled. Indictments rippling to senators. CEOs.
Me?
Cleared. Stars shining. But the mirror showed cracks. Gray hairs. Eyes shadowed. Ethan wrote, first time. Brother. The books helped. Forgive. Forgive. The word hung. Forgiveness is a four-letter word in the lexicon of the betrayed. Sharper than any bayonet twist. Ethan's letter arrived on cherry blossom petals.
DC.
In full flirt with spring. But it landed like frost on my Quantico desk, creased envelope. His scrawl shaky as a hangover. Brother. The books helped. Sun Tzu says know your enemy. I was mine. Forgive. Sarah found me staring at it. Coffee gone cold. What's it say? I folded it slow. Old ghosts. She didn't push, knew better, but her hand on mine was anchor. The beast. That vengeful cur. Paced my dreams. Ethan's face in Leavenworth orange. Crow's sneer fading to cuffs. Hale's bruise is blooming purple. Redeemed? Brass thought so. Full Admiral nod in June. Ceremony at the yard. Midshipmen in white snapping salutes like firecrackers. The general pinned the third star. Voice booming. Eden Scott. From fratricide's shadow to Navy's light. Applause thundered. Sarah beamed front row. But Ethan's empty chair, invited, declined, gaped like a wound. Post-ceremony, the O Club swirled with toasts and tall tales. But I slipped out to the Severn's edge, water lapping black as ink. Hale joined, beer in hand, limp from the raid fading. Sir, Admiral, you earned this. Earned. The word chafed. We all did, Lieutenant. Don't forget who paid. He nodded. Shadows long. His own ghosts, the log he'd kept, the leak that started the unraveling. What now? I clinked bottles.
Now?
We build. Clean. But clean's relative in the machine. July heat baked the capital. Scandals simmering down to embers. But embers spark. A tip hit my secure line, anonymous. Hale's old contact. Scott. Crow's not done. Hidden asset, off-book slush. Your name forged. My name. The beast woke snarling. Forged SIGs on transfers. Millions to a Cayman shell. Dated pre-scandal. Frame job. Posthumous from Crow's cronies. Or deeper. Sarah and I dug her Jag Rolodex. My crypto ghosts. Trail led to a ghost corp. Scott Legacy Fund. Charity front for laundering. Beneficiaries? Ethan's new defense consulting firm. Florida-based. Dormant but dirty. He'd played me. The smash drive?
Decoy.
He'd stashed copies. Flipped post-conviction. Feeding scraps to Vance's crew for parole bait.
Blood.
Poisoned twice. The controversial call loomed largest yet. Confront Solo. Risk perjury trap. Or expose public. Torch my stars? I chose fire. August briefing. Pentagon War Room. Brass assembled. My pitch deck glowing. Gentlemen. Ladies, the Scott name's been weaponized. Again. Slides flipped. Forgeries. Wires. Ethan's SIG beside mine. Gasps rippled. The general's face granite. Proof. Admiral? I nodded to Hale. Entering with the server clone, raided from the yacht club remnant. Inevitable. Fallout? Tsunami. Ethan yanked from appeals. Charges amended. Conspiracy?
Fraud.
His Florida exile raided. Wife fleeing tears. He called collect.
Voice hollow pipe. Eden. How?
I leaned into the receiver. Sarah listening silent. Blood knows blood. Ethan. You taught me that.
Click. No forgiveness.
Not yet. Maybe never. September winds whispered change. Sarah announced over Crab Imperial at the wharf. We're having a kid. Joy hit like a breacher charge, soft. Expanding. Boy or girl? Her grin lit the dusk. Doesn't matter. Scott 2.0, clean slate.
Clean.
The words settled.
Tentative.
October's harvest moon lit the high-stakes close. Ethan's final hearing. Virtual from Leavenworth. Me testifying in person. Annapolis ghosts watching.
Judge.
Stern as stone. Admiral Scott. Your brother claims coercion. I stood. Stars heavy.
No.
Your honor.
Choice.
He chose shadows. I chose light. But blood. It binds. Ethan's feed flickered. Face gaunt.
Eden.
I, mute. Verdict, no parole. Full term. Outside. Rain slicked the steps. Hale waited with umbrellas.
Done.
Sir? I breathed deep. Ozone sharp. For now. The beast?
Caged.
Key tossed in the Severn. November elections shifted winds. New SCSNAV. Reform-minded.
My ally.
Promotions flowed. Hail to Commander. Sarah 206. December circled back. Anniversary of the reset, that bunker gasp on the Ike. I stood on her flight deck. Waves churning below. Sarah beside. Hand on her swell. 3 years, I said. Feels like yesterday.
She squeezed.
And forever. What's next? Admiral? Next. The word bloomed. We flew to Florida, not exile, but closure. Ethan's old haunt. A beachside bar with neon palms. He wasn't there, transferred upstate, but the barkeep knew, sold it all. Said something about legacies. I bought a round for the house. Toasting absence. Back home. Christmas lights twinkled. Kids first, naming him after Dad. Ethan be damned. Twist's end? January 2025. A package, legit. From Ethan. Dad's old watch. Engraved blood thicker. Note, keep time honest. Forgive if you can. I strapped it on. Tick steady. Forgiveness? Not absolution, but truce. The beast slept. Years blurred. Admiral Scott. Joint Chiefs whisper. Sarah commanding a carrier group. Little Ethan toddling with toy ships. Scandals faded to footnotes. My book, ghostwritten. Redacted, top charts. Chains of command. A brother's reckoning. Controversial? Sure. Critics called it score-settling. Fans?
Catharsis.
But the hook lingers. That reset gasp. Bullets echo. Life's no loop. But choices? They rewind in quiet hours. Brother thought I was done. Until the general's voice. Stars pinned. Crowd roaring. And in the end, not victory, but survival. American as apple pie and arsenic, sweet. With a bite.